first of all, maybe just infos are on the game time decisions player.
Yeah, game time on Quinn. I don't think Petey's going to play tonight. I haven't. He's still skating right now. I'll talk to him again, but Hughes is a possibility.
What are you looking for starting this road trip strong for your team?
Well, we're playing a hot team right now. I mean, Marty's got these guys playing really well. So, we just got to stick to our game a little bit longer. I mean, we're a couple of good games I thought we've played, but we got to be on the right side of the one-goal games, and that comes with big moments. I think we just need some more bigger moments in certain plays.
For the past few games, Alexandre Alnay is having more minutes. Is
Yeah.
he starting to find his rhythm with the new team?
Yeah, I think I was talking to a guy yesterday about it. I think he's worked at his game a lot all year, but the last 3-4 weeks, he's really worked on his game. His skating has been better, decision making. I think it's really helped him, moving his feet a lot more. So I think that's why he's been playing better. Yes.
Are you seeing the defensemen that you coach against the Oilers?
Yes. Definitely the last 4 games, seeing some positive signs from him. Yes.
What's been more difficult for him to adapt in his game to your system?
You know what? It's a good question. I don't know if it's a system thing. I think it's about preparation, the way to play the game, and I think he's learning a lot being here. That he has to understand that in this, you got to move your feet, you got to make good decisions with a puck, a little more aggressive in front of that boxing out, things like that. And I think that the last 3-4 weeks, he's really, whether it's a system thing or a detail thing, I think he's starting to really pay attention. He's a great guy to coach. He's an awesome kid, but I think the last month he's really worked hard with Foot and Gonchar on details of his game.
When the organization signed him and you inherited him, what were your initial thoughts, and how much did he impress you in the playoffs last year?
Yeah, long reach, hard to play against. Sometimes when you give teams that are really quick outside, you give him the outside, he's can take care of the interior. But there's more to that too. You can't just be big. You got to participate in other aspects of the game. But I think that what we saw is a guy that if he works on his game with the coaching we have, that he can turn himself to be a really good defenseman.
Coach, impactful in his minutes, but when he's not on the ice, what do you look for in your group?
Well, a more predictable, simpler game. When you don't have a guy like Hughes who can create, like he's a one-man breakout, right? Where it's more structure, we need guys more predictable when he's not on the ice, definitely.
When is it in tonight? Do you have the same defense?
Well, so we're still probably, but we don't know if we're going to put Branson or not. I still got to talk to Footy and Gotch.
And what is Thatcher's status? I know he was on the ice yesterday. Do you expect him to play soon?
He's on the ice now. I think he feels better than he did yesterday. He actually felt half decent yesterday, so hopefully he has a good session today. So can't really make a decision until I talk to him today.
But he won't be backing up tonight?
I don't think so, unless he tells me he feels great today. So that's something we will talk here, knowing about an hour.
How do your team deals with noise and all the stuff that we're around your team, Coach?
Yeah, I think noise is something that every team deals with. Whatever market. Like you gotta be part of the solution. You rely on the organization blocking out your leadership group, coaches, everybody. But I think when you do the right things on the ice, you play well, the noise goes away.
How close are you to the team that you were in the playoff, Coach?
Say that again?
How close are you to the team that you were
from last year?
Yes.
Well, I mean, that's a tough question. I know that the process, we don't like the way the process that we've been going at, too inconsistent. But there's been a lot, all fairness to the guys, been a lot thrown at this team. A lot of injuries, a lot of different lineups. 4 or 5 different free agents, like a lot of different things. So I'm going to take the positive. I think we're 6 games over 500. I don't even look at the playoffs, but we're in a position. We're not far off some other really good hockey teams. That's the way I look at it. So if we can regain ourselves, get some of our players back, obviously get back to the identity that we did last year. There's a situation where we can get back to, like I said, to a team that we feel that we're good at, be good at. What's that?
Dakota goes on IR today.
Yeah.
So we know that he'll miss at least the next 3 games.
Yeah.
For paperwork reasons. But what sort of his status would that tell us about his timeline?
Yeah, I would week to week, but it's not like 3 weeks type of thing. Is it a week? Is it 8 days, 9 days? I don't know, but I guess for paper, it's a week to week thing.
With Dakota, we all know obviously
Yeah.
with the summer and
Yeah, I know.
unique type of player too. I mean, it makes sense if you miss as much time as he did from training camp. And
Yeah.
Felt that it would take you a bit to find your game. Do you think he sort of was over the last week, just in terms of that?
Yeah. I think the last 2-3 games, his game has started to chip away at his identity. Feeling good about himself, and he hits a speed bump here, right? So use this week, to get yourself ready, because I thought the last 2-3 games is getting to his game, and we need that element,
After tonight, your team will exclusively play teams that are top 10 in the NHL by points.
Yeah.
Until January 21st, when you got 2 more on the other side of that.
Yeah.
So it's 8-10 against top teams. That's half the team we know is
Yeah.
more. Given sort of where your team's at, where you've been at in terms of
Right.
testing the process, how do you look at sort of the desperation level or
Yeah.
what you need to get out of the next 10?
Well, it's a telling time because, like I said, everybody has to play 82 games, so it doesn't matter. But you're right; you always want to play the better teams when you're playing well. Let's face it. But you get to learn about some players in these stretches. Who can do what your team can do. So yeah, this is whether it's a 2-3 week stretch, get a sense of where your team's at. So hopefully we can get healthy during this stretch. And we'll see how it goes from there.
What do you like the most about Brisebois' game?
Well, for me, for a guy that's been off for a year, what he has gone through, he's got a really good hockey IQ. I think we got to give him a chance, whether he plays tonight or not, of give him a few games or see if he can, be the defensive tensor we know he can be. Adam Foote's a big fan of him. I like his hockey IQ. He's a really good defender. And I'm really proud what he's gone through, where he's come from to play some NHL games now. What he's gone through.
One more question, please. That's it.
Brisebois was drafted in 2015. It's almost 10 years ago, and he's still part of this
Yeah.
team. Is it because he's a good person, the organization
Great.
love him, or?
Well, he's a great person. He's a coachable kid, and he's just had some things dealt to him, thrown at him. And I think that you got to give the organization credit sticking with him. He has some tough times where. And hopefully, and I've seen late bloomers, right? Where guys, I've seen some guys that have been in the organization 8 years and finally make it and play a bunch of years in the NHL. So hopefully he can be one of those guys.
For Brad Marsh, and he's hanging around the front of the net, around the front of the net. And then as he tries to gather him, it's just a matter if it's 2 or anything more.
Quinn, thanks for taking the time to come and sit down and chat with me today.
Generational talent. Thanks for liking the video and subscribing.